I grew up in Florida, so I'm not too worried about gators. But if I was in a hurricane and they got pushed into my house, then I'd probably be worried about them, I would say.
When I saw
that would
Crawl,
not be fun.
back when there were cinemas and you could go to them, I went. My local cinema had like a secret screening kind of thing where you go see a film if you had a membership and you wouldn't know what you're going to go see, so it was a gamble. And I went and it was Crawl, and I was overjoyed. I was really hoping it would be Crawl. And I went and saw it, it was Crawl. And at the end of the film, I loved it, big grin on my face, and the stranger next to me was like, well, that was crap, wasn't it? And I was like, oh. And I burned him alive. I
You whitlocked him?
Yeah, I couldn't believe how he could have sat through that glory and just, like, arms folded, grimace on his face the entire way through. So it was delightful. I loved every second of it.
Do you think that there are, this is random, but do you think that there are more sharks in there, or is that just a gag at the end?
Well, now there's been a giant bloody explosion, and then Carter's dragged a trail of blood back from it to where he now is. The sharks are on their way. If there's none there now, they'll be there pretty damn soon.
Yeah. Even if they're not genetically modified sharks, there will be some form of animal coming to eat the sushi.
Yes.
And that's just the crew coming back after the weekend, isn't it? You know, they're just prepping up. But do you think that was set up for a sequel, not a direct-to-video sequel, but like a proper sequel that never happened?
I like to think so. I mean, imagine this movie makes $350 million as opposed to $170 million worldwide. There'd be a sequel.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious sequel is going back down into, I'm not sure if we talked about this before, doing a Beyond the Poseidon adventure where like a salvage crew comes in to go down and try and retrieve the information from Aquatica. Yes. And there's more sharks there somehow. Some of that.
And it's called Deeper Blue Sea.
Exactly.
Yep.
There's your title.
Or Deep Bluer Sea. No.
That'd be the third one.
Deep Blue D.
And then the fourth one would be Deep Blue Seas. It would take place on 2 different locations.
Deep Blue Sea.
I mean, you got to think that, right? I mean, they made that gag in there. You could have easily have brought back Preacher and Carter because they're out of jobs now.
Yeah.
And there's no way that they're going to be able to explain this to anyone. So, hey guys, what happened? Well, Susan McAllister genetically modified sharks, and those sharks hunted us and flooded the facility.
They were smart sharks.
There's also the opening of the film where Ronnie Cox, who I don't think says a word in the film, is with Samuel L. Jackson. So he knows what's going on.
He would lead that expedition. If he used to be part of Chimera, they want to get all the $200 million of Sam Jackson's money, or however much it was he invested in it. They need to get back on that deposit or that investment.
Whoa. So Ronnie goes back with Preacher and Carter and a team of mercenaries made up of the cast of Deep Rising and Hard Rain.
Would LL and Tom Jane come back? Because I think LL would, but I think we know that Tom Jane said in an interview that he regrets doing Deep Blue Sea. He hates the film. He hates his character.
Here's the thing, though. That movie makes $350 million, and they go up to him, "Hey, TJ, here's this in back end. He'll take it, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like a Lost World situation where Sam Neill doesn't come back, but Jeff Goldblum does. And of these two, Tom Jane is the Sam Neill role, and Preacher is LL's the Goldblum.
Yeah, but
so
was Preacher going to do cook omelets for everyone?
Right, you know? But they brought back Ian Malcolm for the Lost World. He's a chaotician. He's not a dinosaur guy. He's just a random mathematician who they thought he's a rock star mathematician. So he's got as much reason to come back as Preacher does.
Preacher wants to get his video so no one gets his recipe.
There we go.
He's got that in his pocket, though, in his plastic bag.
That's true, he does.
Oh, yeah, because he never threw it in the water, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he lost it in the shark's mouth, and he's hoping that
maybe that's what the shark was trying to do when it bit him. It was trying to get the tape. The shark wants an omelette recipe.
He's gone vegan. Not even vegan.
Vegetarian,
I need that tape, Preacher. That was the whole plan. They set it all up to get that recipe.
So the film should not be called Deep Blue Sea. It should be called Preacher's Omelette Recipe. Because that's what the sharks want.
The aquatic suspects, the familiar, and then the shark stops limping at the end and just swims away.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
Well, there. And what happens if Carter actually brought back Preacher a piece of the shark? Would Preacher eat it, the sushi? You think he would do it?
Well, there isn't actually shark sushi in the world. People don't use shark for sushi because it decomposes too quickly. It needs to be extremely fresh to eat it raw because
Yeah.
This would be. But in real life, outside of freshly exploded shark, shark blood contains urea, which decomposes very quickly and emits an ammonia odor. So that's my research for today's show. If you see shark sushi and you're nowhere near the sea, don't eat it or don't smell it. But yeah, if I can just imagine Carter just grabbing a chunk of shark belly and lugging it back. Here you go. Doof.
And just slaps it on the thing.
Yep. And it makes it sink.
Yep. They fall into the water. They start cooking it, like they Stargate it. They start cooking it and eating it. That's a really random poll.
It is. I haven't seen it.
Wait, you've never seen Stargate?
No, Mark, I haven't seen any film you ever bring up ever. It's been 32 episodes. You should know that.
Of course, I've seen Stargate. Yeah.
Kurt Russell going to another planet and battling alien
and Egyptians at the same
time.
Egyptian aliens.
Something like that.
Mark, you don't want to know how many Kurt Russell films I haven't seen.
Man, how would Kurt Russell have been in the Thomas Jane role? Do you think what would be different about it?
Better hair.
Yeah, the hair, easily. Definitely that. He'd still be sleeveless.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Captain Ron.
Haven't seen.
Captain Ron is Captain Ron. It's interesting. Is Carter Blake's too serious to be friends with Captain Ron? What do you think?
Maybe he's the straight man.
The two of them together on a boating journey? Oh, man. Captain Ron, Jay, is... It's good. Kurt Russell's really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to explain it.
It's a Martin Short film with Kurt Russell.
There it goes. Martin Short's really unbearable in it, too, by the way. I think it's Captain
not
Ron
uncommon.
who saves the day. I don't know. I just watched it when I was younger because I liked boats. And it just seemed cool that this family took across, like, they went to the Caribbean with Captain Ron. It was kind of funny. They're the best line in Captain Ron. They're like, what island are we going to? He's like, are we going to that one? He's like, no, we're going to that one. He's like, what's that name? It's like Ted's. So they're going to Ted's Island. I bought that DVD at a gas station, by the way.
I bought it in France.
Really?
Yeah. I've got a French DVD of Captain Ron.
Oh, my gosh.
So I think it's called Le Captain Ron.
Oh, you gotta send me a picture of that. I love it. I think you're the first person I ever met who has a better Captain Ron purchasing story than I do. That's amazing.
It was secondhand in France as well, so it's a pre-owned Captain Ron DVD.
Oh, that makes me happy. He's good in it. I'm telling you. Executive Decision, Breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just talked about we just talked about Used Cars. That's another good one.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh man, have you seen Used Cars, Jay?
I haven't seen any of the ones you just mentioned. No,
you got to watch Used Cars. There's a sequence in it which is like they hijack local radio for an advert.
Yeah, it's insane.
And I don't know the punchline, but it's brilliant. It's laugh out loud funny.
Okay.
What I like about Kurt Russell in Used Cars is that he's very dishonest about being honest. He knows he's a scumbag and he's just totally open about it.
Do you mean he's honest about being dishonest?
Yeah, he's just,
okay.
He's honest about being dishonest. Like, okay. He knows the game. He's happy with who he is. He's not trying to hide anything. And it's you watch that movie though, some stunts in that film they shot it in 80, I believe.
Yeah.
Some people should have died making that. There's some of the craziest practical stunts I've ever seen in that movie. Just people jumping from cars, a car going 60 miles an hour and turning right before it hits a guy. They jump a car over a train. Beautiful. I'm down for another used cars podcast. This is great.
Need to watch it first.
All right, so Niall, you said you like aquatic monsters versus humans in water. What's your top 5? What would you recommend?
Well, Deep Blue Sea, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Deep Rising.
Perfect.
Crawl, going back to that.
It's a great triple header so far.
Are we allowed to mention Jaws?
I was going to say, I kind of feel like you have to.
No Jaws. No Jaws franchise.
You have to at least say, I can't include Jaws, it's too obvious. Otherwise, people are going to think you're insane.
Throw some titles at me to see
Piranha 3D.
Orca, Piranha 3D, Anaconda. Let's see.
The Shallows.
47
meters down.
47 meters down on Caged with sharks that look like they're from The Descent.
Rogue. The Reef.
Oh, yeah, The Reef is good, too.
Do you know, I'll throw in Anaconda just for John Voight.
Yeah, that's
yes.
You know.
They don't. The greatest. So man, we have 4. This is perfect, and you got 1 more left.
Oh. See, it's not quite, but the Abyss.
Yeah.
You know, it has elements of all those sort of things. It sort of ruins it at the end. You know, they need something to eat people, but
a shark just comes through and munches on somebody.
That's what the Abyss is missing.
What if that had happened at the end of this chapter? As Carter's swimming back, another shark grabs him and takes him down and finishes him off.
Be beautiful.
It would.
And then we knew the Preacher would be the guy back in Deep Blue Sea too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is for Carter.
Oh. Now, we all Carter Blake is cool, but if Carter Blake bit it at the end of this movie, if he just if a shark got him, would you care?
Yes.
Oh. It would hit you hard?
You know what? I think you've lost so many. I mean, one of the great things about Deep Blue Sea is all the characters are so, even though they're kind of sketches, they're relatively well drawn, and you invest in him. You know, the Saffron Burrows character, you kind of, you know, what was it? The test screening that somebody stood up and said, you know, killed the, and that's what made them change the, you know, the original ending.
Yes.
You need the kind of the hero, and as much as LL Cool J was fun as a comic relief survivor, you kind of needed a hero who'd been through the whole journey with all the characters and not just somebody who sort of joined them halfway through, even though he kind of had his own adventures beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Still want that Preacher prequel. I still want it.
I want the Preacher prequel and then sequel
to
this. But I guess you're right.
We have the middle chapter of the Preacher trilogy. We need the bookends.
Have you watched Piranha 3D?
No. You know what? I haven't. No.
Got it. It's very, very good. Do not watch the second one. 3DD, burn it. But the first, it's awful. It's one of the worst things I've ever witnessed. But the first one is so much fun.
I don't want to spoil the ending of that. But it's just, I guess Carter, maybe it would have seemed a little cheap to murder him at the end. Just a shark comes off, just bites his head completely off. He Lake Placids him.
Yeah, that would feel too kind of comical. Because you know, this is a satisfying ending. These two characters, they are drained, they're exhausted, they're half dead, they haven't yet rejuvenated.
Their wounds have healed.
Yeah, they're healing, but they're not there yet.
The wounds have improved, but they haven't healed.
Yeah, they're on their way. So just having like Carter standing up and a shark jumping and taking him out, that would be funny, but it would be out of keeping with the rest of the film.
What if a shark wiped out the boat coming into them?
That would have worked.
Right?
That's a megalodon coming up.
Wait, there's another one. There's another Aquatica 2.
Oh yeah, the test site, the breeding site.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. The Life Aquatic. Yeah.
Oh, that has a jaguar shark. That's brutal. Yeah.
And
also, Walt Conti worked on that. The guy who designed the sharks in this, he also did Life Aquatic. And my wife got me a Life Aquatic jaguar shark ornament for Christmas. Just want to let y'all know that.
Yeah.
I figured you'd love it. A jaguar shark murders everyone, and then they team up with Bill Murray. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this a Grindhouse movie where they do Wes directs one movie and Rennie directs the other, and then they release them together?
Yeah.
Whoa. With